So let's see. Alright, we're looking at vehicle, cars, trucks, radio. Okay. Those of y'all that know me, you don't know me. Those of y'all that have been listening, you know me. What we're going to do is we're going to time travel. We're going to try to. If you listen, you know, cause look, cannabis and hemp and eating right did that in a community of people. A black man helped ignite that in the beginning, and a cop. And then it turned into an army like you learn in AA. On how to use my past experiences, pull the positive out, learn how to do an inventory of myself in my life, and how to apply what's good in the past as far as discipline and structure, open-mindedness and everything goes, and how to stay consistent and how to stay structured and how to stay disciplined. That's what that program taught me. And it's God, truthfully. Because in the world teaches you to be lazy. You don't have to read nothing. You can sit there every night and just watch TV. You know, you don't have to try to eat better. Nothing. And that's the God of the world, which is the opposite of my God. So we have to look at how we've time traveled, like technology, like where we are now. Because before these vehicles that we have now with gas, there was electric cars. You had these huge castles and structures. We're going to be like, if this is the middle of a structure, and this is the corners, and this is a big structure. Well, each corner is going to have little antennas on it, and you can find this. And then it's going to have some kind of shit here, and then some stuff here and here, and then you got to study copper, zinc, gold, silver, albumin, all this stuff, and how God made this, what we're inside of. It's magnetic, but it's electromagnetic. I think because it's our blood. Our blood's magnetic and electric, and it is, and it goes with the sun and the moon. That's positive and that's negative. And in your vehicle, you've got the battery cables, positive and negative. Same as over here is the brain. The pineal gland and the pituitary. Pineal is positive, the pituitary is negative. Okay? The pingala and the ida nerve. Pineal, pituitary. The same way it comes out of your brain and goes down your spinal cord is the same way it comes off the cables. The battery underneath the hood of the vehicle, which is the brain, comes out and it runs the rest of the body. And this being your spinal, sacral, solar, medulla oblongata, all kinds of other stuff. And the sacral plexus creates a thick oil. The solar plexus creates a thin oil. And it goes up, crosses the medulla oblongata, goes into the cerebellum, into the cerebrum, into the claustrum, this thick and thin oil. And then the claustrum, it comes out. There's a cloister there. the colostrum, this oil that comes out, this fluid. One part goes into the pineal. One part goes into the pituitary. Optic thalamus comes down, and it always goes up and down. The elevator comes from your spinal cord. Okay, so now that we can sort of look at like old structures, man, these things are huge, and there's little buggies and carriages everywhere. It's like they didn't build that. What have they been hiding from us? Because if we're going to time travel, okay, you've watched enough movies. You've been indoctrinated, okay? Because your brain right now, what we're fixing to go into, when you find out that the sun and the moon actually, that's your battery. That's what charges you. And you have no idea. You've been taken away from it. You've been made afraid to look at the sun and the moon out of fear through false prophets and through constant just TV. Because the same way you watch TV is the same way we watch the sunrise now. Because see, those sun rays go into my eyes and charge my pineal, charges my brain. You get up and watch TV. Man, Satan created plasma TV that's not real, that destroys the brain and the retinas. When God, the heavens declare the glory of God, Psalms 19:1, when you're not looking directly at it, but when you can, because there's times of the year that you can, it's going straight into your eyes. Narrow is the gate. And as Christians, our gate is wide open. The same way it charges us. Sunset. The moon too. Okay? If you have glass container, try not to do this with plastic, but a glass container, fill it up and let it sit there for a week for every sunrise. That water, if it's spring water, it's already alkaline. But that water is going to charge every day. God's charging it. You know, because that sun is also God's sun too, and the moon and Jupiter and Venus, but that's man names. It's a generator here. The same way you plug in everything to a generator and it runs everything, that damn sun runs everything with the moon, positive and negative battery. Okay? If you put that water there and it's already alkalined out, spring water, the sun's rays are going to go into it and charge it. And then take it down, put it, and as the sun's going over, if you can, get some more rays into it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to drink that shit and then get in a rhythm to where you're always doing it and rotating it. The same way that the sun has a circuit over our head is the same way that water is circuited through your body. That is magnetic. No. In your world now, you pay for water. You pay to take a shit. You pay to pee. You pay to sleep. You pay for your diseases. You pay for sickness. And you love it. It's crazy. So with all that being said, okay, there was a world before your electricity, before your fake medical industry. We've got everything we need, and you have never, ever been resonated with it. So what did they do? Well, they got rid of like real natural magnetic electricity. And so, because they'd always had this stage. The world is a stage. Whatever they do on stage, these Romans, the dummies down here do it. And this is the masses. Okay? Whatever they do. And then eventually, you know, newspapers, because of the printing presses, you've got books, but see, a lot of the masses, because of the Vatican, wouldn't allow them to read or write for centuries. So you create ignorance. I mean, they know how to farm some, but they don't know this, what you're made of. You don't know anything about that. They knew about spring wells. They had to, because they had to drink water. Y'all don't even know water's everywhere, and it's got full of water magnetic. And you get that shit and charge it. But see, these same people created the cities, you know, nightlife and all that, and slavery went down, and these families, 400 years of money, where'd it go? Vatican, but where'd it go? They restructured, had a board meeting, and then decades later, professional sports popped up. The Colosseum in Rome, full of the people, so they burned it down. Eventually, everybody died from the Colosseum, what it did to the dummies. And what's in all the cities now? Colosseums. And what's everybody's emotions on? Sports. It's a stage. It's the same shit. Only around the sports, they gave you fake money and careers and nightlife and sex and orgies and Xbox and virtual reality and stay inside and get a shot and you need vaccine. It's crazy because you have to look at how they did it. Okay, so let's say the vehicle now, the car has been invented. All right. So there goes horses. That slowly goes away. So there's God. Big industry, gone. Man comes in, only a few control it. A lot of people had a lot of shit to do with horses. Okay, this is big. And what did they do with the cars? They put the radios in them. Yeah. And as the TV's coming out, okay, and what's on all this right when this starts? Space. This is big. Space, you know, advertisements. Because they made weed illegal. So pot, cannabis. So whenever they did that, you control the radio and the TV. So everybody's got to get the cars, man. Got to get the TVs, the radios in the cars. Well, these people already control the newspapers. Eventually, the news stations, all that. So they're going to get rid of this, never talk about this, and they're going to push what? Their chocolates, their Vicks Vapor Rub. Yeah, we had it for 6 years. It's not good. This, milk. Listen. Okay, we've been taught really, really horrible about what we do to ourselves. That's not good. You know, cows don't drink goat milk. I mean, I'm serious. We come from the Milky Way, and we're supposed to be drinking our mama's breast milk. But generationally, we've been poisoned to where these people come in with their Gerber. Oh, it's free, government assistance, yeah. It's crazy because you were never meant for that. You come from up there. You have a reason you're here, and they know it, and they've taken it from you and programmed you into some shit you don't even know where you're at. And so from day one of putting the radios in there, now you got TV in your house, you got the newspapers, and this is all Roman Empire, Vatican, Satan shit. They've owned it from day one. They own the school systems, the churches, everything. It was just a matter of time to consolidate everything because there was some truth coming out on this, but eventually they just flushed it out. And then you create the sports. You know, sports are on here. So we've got sports, we've got all this stuff that's eventually poisonous. Fast food is coming, McDonald's, all this shit. This is gone, no alkaline water, nothing. And all you've heard generationally is just fucking chase money. Let's get drunk, alcohol, which destroys the alkaline. Nothing wrong with drinking, but we don't need it. Let's get rid of all the companies. Trust me, watch them fucking flip because it's all communism already. You just don't know it. Ra is the sun deity of Egypt. Ra. Dio is God. And truthfully, let me look right fast. Yeah, we got time. Because, look, this is a receiver. Okay? This and this is a transmitter. Okay? It's a transmitter because Ra equals the sun in Egypt. And the sun's rays, Ra, ray, brain, rain, grain, those are all ours. I ain't saying Ra is, I'm just saying it's serious. because you got train, tracks, kratom, crack, crank, the bad side of Ra. You see the sun, it's just same thing with the water. You're magnifying it. The same thing with the radio. Now there's lying to us, and it's magnifying the lies over and over and over because you have been under the influence of that shit. Sodas, they've glorified what gives us diabetes, heart disease, and everything, and then the hospitals pop up. And then that's all you hear. That's all you hear. And Red Cross, all this shit, it's a lie. FEMA, it is Satan. In the same way, through the radio, that the sun, here in this realm, produces this life every year. Like we just had a new year in winter. That's dead. The new year should be in spring here in 3 months, like it was a long time ago. But Satan has taken control. Janus, January, is the god Janus, because Janus, these fuckers, is the double-headed god. So he's looking forward to this year and looking backwards to that year, because they control it, all of it. Your future and the past. They create your history. But from day one, you're everywhere you are going. That's it. It has set the stage. And then the news is north, east, west, and south. That's the real news, is the heavens declare the glory of God. No anymore, man. Do you see from day one how they have manipulated? Dio is God. We already went over that. Ra-dio. So it's the bad side of Ra. And it's been there. And that's all we've heard, because, right fast. All right, the cerebrum, the cerebellum, that's the motor. And this is the transmission. And the fluid I was talking about in you is this. Okay? That's what this is. Thick oil, thin oil. This would be a thicker and then a thinner, right? Well, because it's in there. And then your oxygen, when you breathe in, is what creates your blood. Okay? But the society that we have been in our whole life destroys the blood, and that's what kills us. Y'all are sick because you poisoned yourself. Not only your body, but your mind. Look at this. Gadget, game, sports. Sex, Hollywood, go fucking make that money, yeah. And y'all all falling for it because the slave traders are the sports. It doesn't matter how many masks they wear. Y'all been lied. Listen, you've been dummies generationally your entire life. You breathe 1,200 times an hour. Each breath your lungs inflate to a gallon of air. And each breath creates the blood in you. Each breath, the oxygen goes into the blood and carbon dioxide exits the blood. And you don't do that. Y'all are watching the Uncle Toms of the world, black, white, brown, and going mad. And I can't get more solid than that, because this is your anatomy. And Jim, that should make sense. No, Matt, Jesus loves you. It's like that's a disgusting spirit that Satan has created over a long time, because they put these churches a long time ago on top of spring wells. That way, I have felt Jesus. Well, then why can't you keep Jesus? Well, it's on top of magnetic field, torus field, around a spring well, water. There's going to be more power there. If you're sick, having headaches, go there and sit. That shit will go away. You don't have to take their pills, but they don't. Shit, the Lord's medicine is Satan. Your pills have numbers on them. Saturn's the god of numbers. He's a god of banking and law. He's your judge with the black robe. Okay, the banks, that's Saturn. Because judges getting paid away and play on court. You go to court. You play sports on court. The referees are black and whites, because it's as above, so below. It's Saturn. We're going into Satanism, which is transgenderism, which is androgyny, and all that shit. You have no idea all the people on TV that are men, that are women, that y'all are trying to be like women. Get the fuck out of it. You need to come out of your programming. I love you.